Hello there, good morning and welcome to this, the WP Builds weekly newsletter number 55. This covers the WordPress weekly news for the week commencing the 18th of March 2019 and it was published on Monday the 25th of March 2019. A couple of things before we begin. If you head over to wpbuilds.com/subscribe, there's a couple of forms there. One will get you on a list which will tell you about this, the WordPress Weekly News on a Monday, and about our podcast on Thursday. The other list is all about deals, and the idea is if you sign up to that list, I will alert you the moment I hear about a deal coming out in the WordPress space. So it might be 20% off a plugin or something like that. And it'll be a very simple plain text email with a clear title so that you know whether you want to open it or simply bin it because it's of no interest. On that page also, you can sign up to things like our feed on iTunes and Google Play, Google Podcasts. There's a Facebook group with about 1,900 people, YouTube channel, Messenger updates and Slack, all of that good stuff. Go and check it out at wpbuilds.com/subscribe. The other one is /deals, and there's a whole heap of coupon codes for WordPress products. Worth checking out if you're in the market for a new product. It might well be on there. We're adding new stuff all the time. /contribute if you want to come on to the podcast with me, do a short 10 to 15 to 20 minute video about something that you've done recently. /webinars. We've got a few webinars coming up, so check those out. As always, if you sign up and you can't make it, no big deal. We'll send you a video. But the webinars that we've got Social Web Suite. We've got Tina Todorovic coming on. We've got Lifter LMS, Chris Badgett from Lifter LMS. And then we've got Maura Cohen talking about her design class course. And we've also got Arindo Duque from Admin Pages Pro and WP Ultimo. So go and check those out. Might be worth looking at. Might be something on there that you want to check out. And the last one is /advertise. Please, if you have a company or a product and you'd like it to be more well-known, shall we say, go to /advertise and find out what we can offer you. We've got banner ads and audio inserts. Speaking of which, the WP Builds news is brought to you today by Kinster. Are you tired of unreliable or slow hosting? If so, check out Kinster, who takes managed WordPress hosting to the next level. Powered by the Google Cloud Platform, all their plans include PHP 7, SSH, and 24/7 expert support. Migrate today for free at kinster.com. And we thank Kinster for their support of the WP Builds podcast and newsletter. Right, let's get stuck into today's news, shall we? Okay, the first item that I've got for you today can be found on the WP Tavern website. It's entitled WordPress Ends Support for PHP 5.2 to 5.5, bumps minimum required PHP version to 5.6. Well, there's not really a lot to say about that, is there really? You've now got to be on a minimum of PHP 5.6, and the idea is that it's going to be bumped again to PHP 7 sometime later this year. At the minute, mooted to be December 2019, but if you are on a very, very old host, it's possibly time to move forward and, well, possibly persuade them or get yourself onto a host which has PHP 7 on. There's some lovely charts on there illustrating where we're at the moment and which different versions of PHP are being used, but it's a nice curve, and recently we've had some nag messages in the WP admin saying, look, it's time to get yourself sorted out with your PHP version, and it seems to be working, so that's good news and it's all going in the right direction. Okay, the next item is also on the WP Tavern website, entitled Gutenberg introduces block management, adds nesting to the cover block, and this is all in Gutenberg 5.3. It says Gutenberg 5.3 was released today with basic block management, a feature that will be included in WordPress 5.2. It's a new modal that can be launched from the vertical ellipses menu, and it's inspired by Rich Tabor's CoBlocks implementation. You can turn individual blocks on and off and kind of nest them underneath each other, and it's a much more visual way of doing things, and it leads to a much less cluttered interface, shall we say. There's also some experimental things. For example, there's now a legacy widget block. Obviously, widgets are going out of the window at some point, but now we've got this experimental legacy widget block, and it enables you with a drop-down menu to put your legacy widgets into a Gutenberg page or post. So there's a couple of nice features there. I wonder how long the widgets will stay around. We'll wait and see, shall we? Okay, the next few articles all fall under the umbrella of security, and really, I think that is the message from this week. The most of the news came from security-related issues, and this is the first one. It's over at wordfence.com, and it's called Social Warfare Plugin 0 Day, Details and Attack Data. During the course of this week, quite a few of the people that I know did fall foul of this one, and it being a 0 day, it was reactive. People like WordFence and the other security solutions had to react because it was being exploited in the wild. So the social warfare plugin was exploited in such a way that essentially things like links were being redirected to arbitrary places, and we had a very large amount of people being infected. Now, the problem was mitigated quite quickly by the plugin developer, and allegedly simply updating the plugin removed all traces of the vulnerability. So by updating the plugin, you were then, if you like, unhacked. So that was at least good, but there was a lot of loud voices saying, how could this happen? Because I've got a WordPress security plugin, or I've paid for this service or that service. And I suppose it leads us to talk about a security posture, not really that you've got a security solution, because if it's a 0 day, nobody knows about it, and we react as quickly as we can. But anyway, it was a horrible exploit. You can go and read the article on WordFence. Is all about the technicalities of what was actually going wrong. But needless to say, if you've been using the social warfare plugin and you have not updated it recently, I think it's high time that you did, and possibly go on a bit of a trawl of your website and click on some links and see what happened. Now, the other one that came along this week, also mentioned on the wordfence.com website, is entitled Hackers Abusing Recently Patched Vulnerability in Easy WP SMTP Plugin. Again, a bit of a breakdown on this web page. You can go and check out what exactly went wrong in great detail, but this plugin was used on over 300,000 installs, and I don't think things were being sanitized correctly in the way that they should have done, and it left sites vulnerable, and lots of people again explaining that their sites were completely taken over, and they were locked out. So good grief, go and check out the website, the wordfence.com article, because it'll explain what you're looking for, and a few IP addresses to spot, looking for those IP addresses to see if anybody's tried to log in, and certainly go and see if you've got anything like strange admin accounts and things. So 2 very, very nasty security problems this week, in really making us all question, how on earth can we stop this stuff? And well, the answer is you can't. You've just got to probably back up as much as possible, do what you can, and be ready to react when things go wrong. Okay, next couple come under the title of community. First one is entitled WordCamp Miami draws 100 plus for Kids Camp. Plans to host standalone kids WordPress conference in summer 2019. This was the Miami WordCamp, and they had lots and lots of kids coming along, and they were playing with WordPress and having a jolly old time of it. And it's led to this idea that, well, maybe we need to do something for the kids in the future. It will be tailored for kids between the age of 6 and 18, and it's not going to be all about WordPress. It's going to be about things like WordPress, Minecraft, Steam, gaming, that kind of thing. But the idea is get them in early, talk about WordPress as part of what we're doing, and hopefully they'll be interested in how it works. Absolutely fascinating. We talked about this in WordCamp Nordic a couple of weeks ago, and WordCamp Miami seemed to be leading the charge on this. Absolutely brilliant. More than 100 kids were in attendance, so that's fascinating. The next one is entitled How to Copyright Your Website's Content. Now, this isn't really a new piece of news, but it's something that, for various reasons that I won't explain, I had to deal with a couple of weeks ago. And this article explains about how you might wish to copyright things, what you can copyright, and how you can do it. If this problem has ever arisen for you, you've needed to have something copyrighted, maybe this article on the elegantthemes.com website will be pertinent to you, and it explains the benefits, how to actually do it. I should say that it's based upon the law in the United States, but it was something that I could take an awful lot of information from. So yeah, there we go. I've included that under the community just in case you needed it. Right. Loads of plugin updates this week. The first one that we're going to mention is Breezy, the page builder. Well, Breezy have added a whole load, 17 new premium layout packs, and this page is absolutely massive. They've got a new pop-up block and then 17 new layout packs, and you can go and look at them all. They're absolutely beautiful, and you can scroll what seems like an endless web page and look at all of the customized page templates that you can use by simply clicking a button. So very cool. That's Breezy Pro 0.0.19. The next one I'm going to talk about is Smush, which is a WPMU dev plugin for squishing your images into smaller file sizes. Well, now they've got this lazy loading feature. So the idea being it loads a very, very poor quality version, and then as soon as it comes into the viewport, it goes and seeks the high quality version. And if you link that up with the fact that they've got a CDN, which if you're a WPMU dev subscriber, you can make use of, the global CDN can take care of your images. It's quite a nice little package, really. Squished images, lazy loading, and delivery from a CDN. Very nice, but a nice update indeed. The next one is from our good friend Eric Ham over at CoBlocks. I am not going to go into the detail on this, but it's just a nice little article. It's entitled Why I Hated Node.js, Gulp and Sass and What I'm Doing About It. And it's all about his journey over the last couple of years where up until then, he was quite happy using CSS, PHP, JavaScript, and so on. And then all of a sudden, he's surrounded by people younger than him talking about things like Node.js and Gulp. And it's about how he got into it and what he's been doing at the moment for things, for example, like his Instant IDE product and Thema Pro and his journey. So if you're in the old-fashioned way of doing things and you want to explore how you might get into doing the new modern cool kids way of doing things, well, go and check his article out. He's got a few videos on there as well, and I just thought that was possibly worth sharing if you're about to embark on that journey. And the last one under the title of plugins is Client Portal. Client Portal, we had Laura Elizabeth on the podcast a few months ago, and she's released a new update where you can have private file uploads. I think it was a much requested feature. If you are using the plugin, well, now you can have files which aren't just available globally accessible by just typing in the URL. There is some magic going on, which means that you can't access it. There are certain caveats, so go and read this very, very short article. But if you've got Client Portal and you've been using it, then that's a nice little addition. You can lock down certain things that you've uploaded. A couple of things from me on the WP Builds podcast. This week we had two things going on. The first one, David and I on episode 120 talked about WordPress plugin fatigue and our constant battle to get our sweet stack of WordPress plugins so that we know exactly what we want and we don't want to go out and fish for more and waste time looking for more. So we discussed that. It was quite an interesting chat. And also I did a webinar with Adrian Toby over at Groundhog, which is a WordPress plugin which you can use as your marketing and CRM tool. We spent about an hour talking about how it works, and he showed exactly how it all works, what the features are and what it's capable of. And you can find that by clicking on the link if you're interested in taking your CRM solution inside of WordPress. It's very cool. And the last one, which has got nothing to do with WordPress at all, it's all about MySpace. If you know what MySpace is, you're probably of a certain age, but it was very cool and massive and pre-Facebook. Well, apparently they've lost all the music data that was uploaded between 2003 and 2015. And for the longest time, it felt to me that's what MySpace was. It was a repository for people's bands and people's music endeavors. Well, apparently, it's all been lost. It was lost during a migration, and it's never coming back. It's permanently gone. And there's been all sorts of speculation about, well, MySpace is failing. Have they just sort of deliberately, accidentally lost it because they really don't want to pay the bills anymore for that kind of hosting all that data? Who knows? But it's gone. A sad nail. Another nail in the coffin of MySpace, which was such a great website for such a long time. Right, that's it. That's all the news over. I hope you got something out of that this week. The WP Builds newsletter was brought to you today by Kinsta. Kinsta takes managed WordPress hosting to the next level. Powered by the Google Cloud Platform, your site is secured like Fort Knox and runs on speed obsessive architecture. You get access to the latest software and developer tools such as PHP 7, SSH and staging environments. And the best part, their expert team of WordPress engineers are available 24/7 if you need help. And you can migrate today for free at kinsta.com. And we do thank Kinsta for their support of the WP Builds newsletter. Okay, join us on Thursday for the podcast. Maybe we'll see you back here again next week, and go and check out the webinar page as well, and maybe we'll see you on one of those as well. Bye-bye for now.